History of science and technology in the Philippines. The need to develop a country's science and technology has generally been recognized as one of the imperatives of socioeconomic progress in the contemporary world. This has become a widespread concern of governments, especially since the post-World War II years. Among third world countries, an important dimension of this concern is the problem of independence in science and technology, as this is closely tied up with the integrity of their political sovereignty and economic self-reliance. There exists a continuing imbalance between scientific and technological development among contemporary states with 98% of all research and development facilities located in developed countries and almost wholly concerned with the latest problems. Dependence or autonomy in science and technology has been a silent issue in conference sponsored by the United Nations.
Next, the pre-colonial science and technology.
Science and technology in pre-colonial in the Philippines setting. Pre-colonial in the Philippines started at 15th to 17th century. In the history of science and technology in the Philippines, there was few written information about Philippine society, culture, and technology before the arrival of Spaniards in 1521. According to these sources, the early Filipinos has attained a generally simple level of technological development compared with those of the Chinese and Japanese, but this was sufficient of their needs at that period of time. Based on the Philippine science history, even before the colonization of the Spaniards in the Philippines, the natives of the archipelago already had practices to link to science and technology. Filipinos already gained knowledge about the medical and therapeutic properties of plants and the methods of extracting medicine from herbs that is actually known as herbal medicine in their time. They also developed alphabet and number system, which helped them in better communication. Filipinos were already engaged in farming activities like planting wheat and crops, shipbuilding for transportation, mining and weaving, which they create our first clothes called barot saya. In the pre-Spanish era, Filipinos had already engaged in the field of engineering, where Banawi rice terraces, located at Ifugao, is one of the best products they developed during that time. In addition, the colonization of the Philippines contributed to growth the science and technology field. The Spanish introduced formal education and founded scientific institutions. During the early years of Spanish rule in the Philippines, parish schools were established where religion, reading, writing, arithmetic, and music was taught. Sanitation and more advanced methods of agriculture was taught to the early Filipinos, which helped them to improve their agricultural land.
The science and technology during the First Republic.
There was a very little development in science and technology during the short-lived Philippine Republic. 1898 to 1900, the government took steps to establish a circular educational system by a decree of 19 October 1898. It created the Universidad Literaria de Filipinas as a secular, state-supported institution of higher learning. It offers courses in law, medicine, surgery, pharmacy, and notary public. During its short life, the university was able to hold graduation exercises in Tarlac on 29 September 1899 when degrees in medicine and law were awarded.
During the American regime,
During the American regime, science and technology in the Philippines advanced rapidly during the American regime. This was made possible by the simultaneous government encouragement and support for an extensive public education system, the granting of scholarships for higher education in science and engineering, the organization of science research agencies, and establishment of science-based public services. The Americans introduced a system of secularized public school education as soon as civil government was set up in the islands. Promulgated Act Number 74, creating a Department of Public Instruction in the Philippines. It provided for the establishment of schools that would give free primary education with English as the medium of instruction. Before 1910, the American colonial government encouraged young men and women to get higher education as much as possible in American colleges. In 1903, the Philippine Commission passed an act to finance the sending of 135 boys and girls of high school age to the United States to be educated as teachers, engineers, physicians, and lawyers. In the field of medicine, the Philippine Commission provided for as many scholarships as they were regularly organized provinces in the islands. These were awarded by the school departments after competitive examinations in the provinces.
during the Spanish regime,
Developments in science and technology during the Spanish regime. The beginnings of modern technology in the Philippines can be traced to the Spanish regime. The Spaniards established schools, hospitals, and started scientific research, and this had important consequences for the rise of the country's professions. But the direction and pace of development of science and technology were greatly shaped by the role of the religious orders in the conquest and colonization of the archipelago and by economic and trade adopted by the colonial government. The net result of reduction was the creation of towns and the foundation of the present system of local government. The pre-colonial ruling class, the datus and their hereditary successor were adopted by the Spanish colonial government into this new system to serve as the heads of the lowest level of local government. Example as cabezas de barangay. The colonial authorities found the new setup expeditus for establishing centralized political control over the archipelago for the imposition and collection of the tribute, tax, enforcement of compulsory labor service among the native Filipinos, and implementation of the compulsory sale of local products to government.
science and technology during the Commonwealth period. In 1935, the Philippine Commonwealth was inaugurated and ushered in a period of transition to political independence. The Constitution acknowledged the importance of promoting scientific development for the economic development of the country by incorporating a provision, Article 13, Section 4, declaring that the state shall promote scientific research and invention. Art and letter shall be under its patronage. The government, which was by that time completely under the Filipino management, continued to expand the public school system to accommodate the increasing number of school children. The government abolished grade 7 as the terminal grade in the elementary curriculum and also institute the double single session plan, thus reducing the time allotment or dropping certain subject in the elementary school. The government also enacted Commonwealth Act number 180 in 13 of November 1936, re-establishing the Office of Private Education, which had been abolished in 1932. On the whole, higher education was provided mainly by the private sector by 1936. There were 425 private schools recognized by the government, 64 of which institutions are the college level and the 7 were universities. These were Centro Escolar University, Far Eastern University, National University, Philippine Women's University, Silliman University, University of Manila, and the University of Santo Tomas, together with the University of the Philippines. This had a total of 19,575 college students in all universities in the country. The combined significance increased trained scientists and engineers in the Philippines before Second World War. The Commonwealth government likewise adopted measures to encourage and provide assistance to provide Filipino businessmen in the establishment of industries and manufacturing enterprises. For example, it created new agencies such as Bureau of Miners to provide assistance to businessmen undertaking mining, exploration, and development. It also increased opportunities for the bureaus of science, plants and animals industries, and thereby encourage more scientific research for industrial purposes.